Good morning and welcome to day 2 here at IPC Apex Expo. Yesterday was a really busy day, lots going on, and of course we had some fantastic traffic through the show. Today I'm joined, my first guest today is Todd Rountree.
Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, nice to see you, Todd.
Nice to see you as well.
So you're president of Austin American. And of course you're well known in the market for making high quality batch cleaners and stencil cleaners, but recently you did a merger with Aquakleen Systems.
That's correct. It's something we've been working on for quite some time, almost 3 years actually, but we were finally able to finalize it January 15th, legally I guess you would say, but
Right.
yeah, so we are now combined as one company.
Right. Well, it's an interesting marriage, if you like, because I mean Aquakleen is well known for their inline systems, so it's taking you into probably a different customer segment. I mean, I wouldn't imagine there's an awful lot of crossover between the customers.
So there is a little bit, but not terribly much. You know, obviously, like you said, the batch cleaners that we build, stencil cleaners, really didn't compete with the Aquakleen line as them only building conveyorized inline cleaners. But, you know, Austin American did build a few inline cleaners as well, probably not as well known in the marketplace, but so we had a little crossover there, but not too terribly much. You know, we were very impressed with the Aquakleen line of inline cleaners, and definitely one of the motivating reasons that why we wanted to get together with them.
Yeah, they're a fairly distinctive brand because they use this polycarbonate material to build their machines. Yes. Is that something that you're attracted to? Is that something that you would, you know, adopt across the rest of the range?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the benefits from Aquakleen Systems is they actually do all their fabrication in-house. That was something that we never had that capability. That was, you know, another thing that attracted us to wanting to make this merger. So we would definitely like to use that skill, that ability, and work that into our batch cleaner line as well.
Right. Okay. So you're both working on two different sites, of course. How do you see that going forward? What are your plans for the company?
You know, Austin American has been in Texas for our 37 years we've been in business, and Aquakleen has been in California for their 16 years they've been in business. They've made a really big footprint here in California, and I think it would be amiss if we were to remove that from the equation. So for everything we've looked at so far, nothing's going to change business-wise. Everything from Aquakleen will still be built here in Anaheim, and then of course all of our equipment's still built in Texas.
And did you retain all of the staff that worked with Aquakleen?
We did, yes, and actually looking to hire some more. So business is already on the uptick, and we're going to need some more employees soon. Good,
excellent. So it sounds like it's been a good move for you for sure.
Yes.
So what do you see coming for the future? You know, what's the sort of 5-year plan going forward?
I think the 5-year plan is very interesting. You know, Mike Schwager, the owner of Aquakleen Systems, is a great designer, engineer, so to speak, and he's got a ton of ideas. He just didn't have the time to actually go chase those ideas. Right. So hopefully with me kind of stepping in from a management side, managing the two businesses, we're going to allow him to actually be creative and go out and actually design some of those new things. That paired with Steve Statch, of course, is still involved with Austin American Technology. And,
is he?
Yeah, and he's still our chief technical officer, and he is just chomping at the bit to try to get in with Mike and have the two of them really kind of get together and design the best new things in cleaning today.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting pairing in itself.
Yes.
So yeah,
absolutely.
But certainly between both these guys, there's a lot of talent. So
yes.
So that's good. Great. So congratulations, Todd. I'm excited for you, and I want to thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Appreciate the opportunity, and once again, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll be back.
Without reliability, with reliability. A world of difference. Welcome on the journey to better reliability outcomes.
the Arch FX manufacturing platform, processing over 1 trillion data points each month, bringing value to every level of your organization. That's manufacturing insights for tomorrow.
And welcome back. I'm joined now by Vince Libercci from MicroCare. Welcome, Vince. Nice to see you.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, a lot of big changes coming up in your world.
Sure.
We've got these PFAs, which they're sort of starting to phase out. I think 2025 is when they're going to be gone altogether.
Well, not altogether. 3M has announced that they're exiting the market by 2025.
Right. But is the market not? Is there not some legislation coming in as well?
Oh yeah, there's legislation globally
Right.
that's addressing PFAS.
Right.
Sure.
And I thought that was coming in about maybe it's 2026. Is
Well,
it?
there's a phase-in process. So the United States is still defining what a PFAS-exempt solvent is.
Okay.
Europe is ahead of us in their regulations of PFAS. The good news is for customers that have to make some changes and re-qualify some solvents, MicroCare has developed PFAS-exempt solvents by European definitions and by the current U.S. definition. That's a little bit of a moving target, so we got to keep our eye on that. But there are plenty of options for customers that are trying to find those alternative solvents and the sustainability of those solvents. So we're looking at multiple sources for supply to make sure that customers that re-qualify or qualify a new solvent can have that solvent for a long period of time.
Right. So what let's go into detail as to what you actually have in terms of alternatives for these PFAS things. I think we've got an image of one of them that we can look at. Is the Turgo materials, yeah?
Sure. That's one example, the Turgo chlorine-free cleaning fluid and our new heavy degreasing fluid. Both are good alternatives to any of the Novec products that are out there. As far as PFAS exempt, that's a new product we just developed. For the benchtop cleaning, our universal flux remover is a good choice for anyone looking for a Novec replacement. As like I said, as 3M has exited the market and there's customers that have to qualify a new solvent at the benchtop, universal flux remover uses an HFO molecule. So there's an HFO in the solvent and in the propellant that's in the aerosol can. So we've already checked off all those boxes. Non-flammable, plastic safe, VOC exempt, low GWP. So,
yeah. I mean, flux removal is a difficult business. It's sticky, horrible stuff. So, this solvent that you've got basically does a good job of removing it.
It does,
and it ticks all the boxes for being environmental.
And it's a good cleaner. That's the important thing. So that's the other part of this whole thing is making sure we find solvents that actually do the job while we're looking at the regulatory and the environmental impacts.
Yeah. One of the things that you're pretty well known for on the aerosol side is the trigger grip system.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So our trigger grip tool is a PCB cleaning tool that attaches to the aerosol cans. It puts a brush in the hand of the operator. But unlike some of the other products that are on the market, you're always bringing virgin solvent and clean solvent through the brush. We're not dipping into a reservoir of contaminated alcohol or contaminated solvent and introducing that to the PCB. So we've always got fresh solvent coming through the brush. The trigger grip's getting a little bit of a reboot. We've come up with an adapter that makes it easier and more secure to attach the trigger grip to the can. Customers can remove and re-engage the trigger grip much quicker and get back to work cleaning their PCB. So
right. So I was going to ask you about the handheld degreasers. Beyond that, is how do you effectively clean, for example, things like fiber optic cable ends?
Yeah, so that's another part of our business where every end face in a fiber optic assembly has to be cleaned before it's connected, right? If there's even a minuscule piece of dust in the way of a fiber optic signal, your data transmission is going to be compromised. So we have a perfectly clean process to make sure that every end face is clean prior to being connected. That's our Stickler's brand of products.
Okay, and can we have a look at that? I think we've got an example of the Stickler product here. That's it to the left there.
Yep. That'll be our brand new product that we're introducing for non-contact in-face cleaning. It's in beta testing now. We've got customers that have qualified that product. It's going to kind of revolutionize the way that the industry cleans in-face. Non-contact, using solvent and air. Use a couple of adapters will be almost universal for the connectors that are on the market.
Right.
And it will be a very much a better way to clean fiber optic connectors. We expect that product to be, it's already commercialized, as you can see, and we'll be having stocked in that product later this summer.
Okay. Okay, great. So I think my final question, Vince, is that you recently opened you got a critical cleaning lab there in South Carolina. You're in?
We're in Connecticut.
You're in Connecticut.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Critical cleaning lab's been part of our DNA since the beginning. We've helped customers. We've helped customers solve their problems by bringing their boards into our facility and creating a profile and a process for them to perfectly clean their boards.
Okay, so you can basically emulate any situation.
We have several vapor degreasers, benchtop cleaning apparatus, ultrasonics. We can pretty much replicate the customer's process, give them a recipe for how to clean their boards.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think you do a great job there at MicroCare.
It's exciting. We have a lot of good things going on.
Over the years you've expanded quite a bit globally, but we'll leave that conversation for another time. But
next year.
Next year. But I think for now, I want to thank you for coming in and giving us an update on the PFAS materials and things.
MicroCare is well positioned to help customers address that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Okay, so coming up after the break, we're going to be talking to Dave Bennett from Bentec in the UK.
At Kaizen, we know it's the science that makes the difference. The right solutions happen when you care enough to ask the right questions. And we understand that your performance is directly related to ours. Science knows why it works, care knows why it's important.
Without reliability, with reliability, a world of difference. Welcome on the journey to better reliability outcomes.
And welcome back. I'm delighted to be joined by my old friend and colleague, Dave Bennett.
Hello, Trevor. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So you've got something a bit new we want to talk about today, which is Pray by Bentec.
It's actually Pray by Detech.
Pray by Detech. Okay. Yeah. So Detech being the company that make the printers.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a bit about it.
Basically, I've been working with David at Detech on and off for going back some 30 years, but over the last few years, since Bentec started, we've done a lot of projects together. He would be leading it. He's an expert in placement, one of the best in the UK.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the inspection as well, he has his own range of 2D equipment, which he uses for pin-through hole and also for usually post-placement. But everything for 3D or SPI, he always uses MicrCare, and hence we work together a lot.
Yeah.
That relationship's got much tighter, and one of the things that's happened as well is David has been tasked by one of his customers to develop a machine for doing final assembly inspection. He was able to turn his expertise on inspection into this new product, which we've actually called a Universal Product Inspector. So it's a new category, it's a UPI. And what it's able to do is able to look at final assembly.
Right. So basically it's inspecting the final assembly product for cracks, screws that are not tight, and all these types of defects.
If you think of just look at our industry, because this is a multi-industry tool, but if you think of our industry, we've got pretty much everything monitored and all the quality steps all the way through. And then it goes into a finished receptacle, whether it be a gain box or some sort of monitoring system, and it's all confirmed that it's okay by check sheet. And that's, the instructions in what language that's printed on it and whatever. I mean, it's all done by check sheets. So
it's all done manually. That's the problem, and the problem there with when you've got manual assembly is you're going to get a certain amount of human error. creeping into it.
The amazing thing as well with this is the speed. I mean, the customers' manual checks were taking over 45 seconds. With a guy that was about to retire, this is the original customer who asked for the product to be developed. And when they showed him the machine, when they actually took the machine there and said, right, we're finished, we can show you it, they put in it's a module for gas, monitoring gas, etc. And they put it into the machine and it sort of swept through and they said, oh, it's nice and smooth, let's do the inspection. And David turned to the customer and said, it's done.
It's done.
It's done. And it was literally, without the graphics, it would have been 2 seconds, but with all the display and everything, it was 4 seconds. And they were blown away. And they've now got 6, and I think another couple on order. And it's something that's so adaptable as well, because the clever thing is you don't get left behind with this product. What David's doing is, the next stage, we've got customers asking to inspect things, but also to power them, so functional as well. So the UPI will come with the capability of actually doing the functional part of it as well. So light it all up, does the screen work, do the buttons work, all that sort of stuff. Wow. And some of the projects are so diverse, such as perfume bottles.
Perfume bottles?
Perfume bottles, yeah.
There's not a lot of electronics in these.
No. And we were speaking to a good friend of mine yesterday, a rep in Canada, and the first thing he saw was massive potential outside of our industry. He knew of customers that were, way bigger than our industry that are doing manual inspection on final product. And he said they're going to love this. So we're quite excited. It's going to go across multiple different industries, we're sure.
Absolutely. I know there are a couple of systems I can think of that out there that are moving into this box build area, but they do tend to be rather on the expensive side.
Yeah.
So how does this compare?
It's about half the price of a standard AOI, so really competitive.
Wow.
Yeah, really competitive.
Okay, well, so something that's competitively priced that's going to do, automatic inspection at box build.
The other thing we have is there's a project for doing batteries that go in hand drills and power tools.
Yeah.
And at the moment they're doing, they've got like sort of 20 people at the end of the lines ticking off, does it have the right voltage for whichever batch it's going to, whichever country, is it the right language and all that sort of stuff. They've approached us and we're making an inline version which will be ready probably about 2 months. And the idea being there is that you can sort of put, say, 20 batteries in a pallet and fire it through and have pallet after pallet after pallet. And, they've then got 20 people they can use elsewhere. But what you also get, of course, is it all goes through to their quality. You can link in with all the SMT information on the MAS system and just jump in at their final assembly.
Of course.
And as you rightly said, there's no mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the key thing.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You tell it. It never drifts, never changes. You say that's what you want, that's what you get every time.
Yeah. And it works 24/7.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take holidays.
It doesn't take holidays, doesn't get sick. Yeah.
I know. Okay. Well, it sounds an exciting product, Dave. I'm really happy for you. And of course, you're controlling the sales of that worldwide.
Yeah. Basically, as you know, Trevor, sort of 30 years in this industry, I've set up networks, whether it be European or global, for 4 or 5 different corporations in that period of time.
Yeah.
And Dave Erskine, he's the CEO of Detech. David realized right away that he was going to have to grow this company very quickly. He's got plans already for a new factory, and he wants to concentrate on not only the UPI, he has about 3 other very innovative products coming. So there's going to be a lot of this sort of stuff coming through. But he wants to do that. He wants to be the manufacturer. So I'm taking away all of the things that could cause him to, 10 reps asking the same question from different countries on different days. I'm shielding him from all of that. We're also we've done the recruitment. The reps know me. They probably wouldn't know David's company, but they know me, and I tell them this new technology. They get excited, and we're taking care of the quotes for them and the invoicing and everything else. And David can then just build, pray as a range.
Oh, it sounds like a really good partnership, quite frankly.
Yeah, it is. We're good mates as well. We're both football crazy, so we've always got something to talk about.
Super. Well, thank you very much for coming in. What is the name of the machine? What do you call it?
It's called the Prey UPI.
Okay.
Which is Universal Product Inspector.
Right. Great. Super. Well, hopefully next time you come in, we'll be able to see either a version of it or a picture of it or something.
Yeah. I mean, if you go on the Bentec or the Detech websites, there's a really professional video which actually shows exactly what it's doing. Barcode scratches, everything.
Super. Super. Okay, great. Well, thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
Absolute pleasure, Trevor.
Okay. So that's it for this edition of Tech Talk. Join us again tomorrow for the show wrap-up here from Anaheim in California.
Why do something 3 times when you can do it only once? Using N1 Pass technology, BTU's new Profile Tracer is a next-generation thermal profiling tool, providing real-time data acquisition for oven optimization. It identifies inconsistencies due to temperature variables at both the product level and the heat source. Profile Tracer measures dual temperature locations as well as vibration, all in one pass, giving you time to attend the more important things in life.
Imagine the competitive advantages of producing high mix and high volume PCB assembly on a single SMT line, running non-stop even during changeovers. It's available now from the only maker in the world providing mixed production SMT line solutions complete with full dual printing, SPI, pick and place, reflow, AOI and board handling machinery for different product dual lane processing in the smallest footprint possible. Make more PCB assemblies with less time, less space, less investment.